Okay, I wonder if that works though, because that's what I need. If this works, which it should, it'd be weird if it didn't. But I just, oh man, I mean, wasn't that some raucousness over on that other place? Wasn't that just crazy? How much nonsense we got into over on that other secret website. Total secret, that secret place that nobody. I gotta make sure all my angles are still right because my. It's silly that I need that one, isn't it? But it's not. It's needed. Works perfect. I'm not blaming Odyssey because it's not their fault. It actually is my fault for not understanding the standards that they have set, the quality standards that they're looking for. So that's on me. I gotta pay closer attention. That was crazy. That was crazy, Starry Bong. That's a hot name. You gotta better watch out going walking around YouTube with such a sexy name like that. Excuse me. See, you got me saying things I don't mean because I got a wife and I gotta, take good care. Listen, there's so many things I wanted to say that were going to be secretive, but now I have to just allude to everything until next week, until next Scratchers Day. But yeah, that was a good wild time. I'm glad we all got to get our craziness out of our system. Boy, I really felt like I had to push harder to get that stream out to you. Like it wasn't my computer and settings and internet router that were doing that. It really felt like I was like on an exercise bike trying to get that stream out to you. So this is a lot more comfortable. But yeah, I was trying to say, and I'll try to keep it short, but basically I spent that whole time on that website trying to say, hey, shout out to Jason, basically. So yeah, it's cool. I'm glad that there's some real people. I mean, I don't know for sure yet. I don't know if you put something on Scratcher's post that I didn't see. But the fact that you're around, Jason, the fact that you have the ability to tell me what you're seeing on the stream that I'm sending out, that's more than 99.9% of this planet right now. So you're like, to me, Jason, just like some other people you're familiar with already, you're like a 1% of the 1% of the planet. And that's Scratchers. That's as real as I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna try to make it not sound weird to talk about Scratchers because I think it's a legitimately worthwhile population to sort of pay attention to for each of us. Like we're all I don't know what it is. We're gonna nail it down though. And something I know, thanks for the shout out. That's nice of you, my friend. That's another one I should have just read in my head. I should have been like, but that's nice. But also got to work on my eye contact. I feel autistic when I'm not looking at the camera and when I look at the computer screen and talk to that. That feels like autism. I'm telling you. And as a person who doesn't have a doctor's note about my misbehaviors, I really can say that this is as close as it gets to being on a secret website with no rules about what you can say feels like you're on Tourette's or feels like you have Tourette's. If you go to a place where you're allowed to say things. Anyways, so we're just doing look. Low courage, the cowardly dog. We're going to do the shadow. We're going to start with that. And we're going to see how that turns out. And guess who's excited about it? Guess. Take a guess. While I clean myself. Today we'll be wiping with a Motley Crue t-shirt. This is all part of the game. So if you don't wipe with a t-shirt, then you're just like me sometimes. Sometimes I don't wipe. Sometimes I don't clean my tattoos with an old t-shirt. It's totally normal. But I like to use soap and water. I got my bottle of soap that's just soap, and then I got my bottle of soap that's soap and water. And you can tell the difference when you pick them up, so that's how I know which one to get. And if you put soap and water on something, that's about as clean as God's ever going to want you to get it. The only way to get it cleaner than that is to run a lighter over it. What do you mean misbehaviors? I mean that sometimes people are just assholes, but they get a doctor's note that says, hey, you know what? If you don't want to make eye contact, not that, because I know that there's a lot of people, I'm one of those people who probably could do some social cues better, but I have this mindset where I think I'm better than everybody else. And so if I feel like I don't need to express myself fully. I feel like I only need to express myself a little bit, and that should be enough. And if you don't catch that, then now you are the problem. So what I do is I go to the doctor and I say, "Hey doctor, I'm having a really hard time connecting to people." And I get frustrated easily because they just they keep calling me out for being weird or an asshole or obnoxious. And then the doctor says, well, it sounds like they need to treat you with respect because you have a condition. So you tell them I said they need to respect you. And then that's kind of the process that I would watch out for, which is what I do. It's shadow day, guys. We're going in. I don't give a fuck. I said too much yesterday, so now I gotta lay it all out, basically. I was gonna lay even more out on the secret stream, but that shit didn't work. So now I can't lay it all out, but I'm doing my best. I should have turned some of these lights down. It's a little obnoxious. But I'm gonna get a doctor's note for that too. They're gonna be like, yeah, no, he needs the lights. He has a vanity. It's like a vanity, attention. I don't know, a disorder. It's just a disorder. I just have a problem with my attention span. So when you start talking, it just starts turning into quiet blur, and then I zone out. And that's not because I'm not trying enough to care and to show interest in your day. It's because I have a disorder. So classic, right? Classic. I mean, there's a lot of different ways to do it. I don't want to start. I can only call out people who are me. Ideally, that's the only people that I can, because I don't want to start saying, you're riding around in a wheelchair just because you're fat. That's not for me to say. I'm not the kind of person going around seeing somebody in a wheelchair and assuming that they didn't have a prior condition, that the fatness just came because of like almost just on its own and then a wheelchair. It was like, could you not? To myself for even mentioning it, not to them for doing it. That's not up to me. But maybe your lack of engagement has to do with your environment. Like I said, you live in a hyper liberal environment. Farting could start a fight in Portland. Here's the thing though, you want to know the truth? You want to know the unfortunate truth about it? And this is a little bit of the shadow, is actually because of the hyper liberal environment in Portland. When you start saying things that are contrary to that environment, the people who agree with you are like that much more there for it. And it's most people still. The idea that Portland is like super liberal, it's just a bunch of people terrified of their neighbor for, finding out that they said they were saying things they shouldn't say in their own damn home. So that's where, that comes from. But in reality, you start talking to people, you just be yourself. So no, no, it isn't. I'm telling you, my lack of engagement is not because of my environment. It's because I think I'm just better than everybody else. And that's not cool. It's really not cool. YouTube isn't notifying me of your live. Well, that's if you better click that subscribe and that bell, cuz that's what I heard Spy Ninjas say, and I was like, "Oh man, I should probably, if they got a bell, I should probably do you better do like the Spy Ninjas do and validate me." Okay. Anyways, yeah, but no, it's all in my head. It's not environmental. And likely if you're giving yourself, not you specifically, Jason, but since this is the interaction, if you're giving yourself any excuses, I'm sure you know about why, you know, I can see why this guy on YouTube might be wrong about the environment, but my environment is really harsh. If you got that going on, we all got to watch out. Yeah, it's just the loudest people. And guess what? You know what happens is then on the news is going around and they're like, "Holy moly, this Portland town is so damn liberal." And then all the liberals are like, "See, it's working. This is the town to do it. We can be anarchists here." Oof. That word hurts my ears whenever I hear it now because I used to just really think about it a lot and I was like, that's what it is. But guys, watch out. Be careful. Be careful. Resist Satan. That's number one. We're gonna get these eyes taken care of. Maybe you are better. It's okay to be better than other people. Hey, I love that you're saying that. Wow. Eventually, you seek those who are better than you. That's an interesting point. You got an interesting point there. But that's a whole separate thing. You got to find those people, and then it's like, what are you even doing with them? And are they even in your like? Does that even exist? Are they around? Doing what you're doing. I mean, there's a lot of people in the world, but there's not that many people, or there's not infinite people, I guess is the what I meant to say. But also, by the way, there is kind of technically infinite people. I don't know why I went in and out on that one, but I just like talking. I don't know. Yes, obviously there is yay Trip. I was just thinking about Trip because what was the one? I got a really good idea. Oh, I was looking at my alien face when you were giving me shit for overthinking, and I was like, "Oh yeah, my little overthinker, alien." That's a good one because we decided that people who aren't realistic with their expectations and who want the whole world to change for them are basically aliens. That's what we're going to start calling them. So, it was cool. I was like, "Oh, I got a little alien face there tattoo too." So it works out. But I would love. Does this look like Courage the Cowardly Dog? Because I don't think it does. I mean, maybe if I clean it up a little bit. Look at that snout. You can already see what I'm talking about. See where I messed up on that snout? That is a whole situation. If I'm too chatty, it's because I just smoked a beautiful bowl of keef. Keef is great. Keef, honestly, I think Keef might be better than wax, but it's just so hard to work with, and it gets so messy that just if they press it and heat it up a little bit and it makes it easier to scoop, then that's kind of nice. But yeah, keef is beautiful and it tastes good. It's all natural and all that stuff. That's a good point. I haven't done that in a minute. But you can buy jars of keef now. It's wild. When I saw that, I mean, they were doing wax before they were selling jars of keef. I'm pretty sure. Cause it's not that efficient to just sell the keef. It's better to press it, I think. or to however they're doing it, because then it'll last longer. But then once they start selling big bulk like they were like, hey, we could throw keef on this just for fun, just to have an extra product on the shelf that people want. And it's fun. You scoop a big spoonful of keef out of something. Anyways, you got me going now. That's a good one. I don't know if I like using these single needles. They keep causing me some blood, which I really hate. I really, really don't like when that happens. So I might have to make some changes in that realm. But for now, it's still working. And it's just a stupid dog. Oh man, I should have. Why didn't I? This is something I've been preparing. Excuse me for a lot of things to manage here. I should probably stick to the basics. But I'm thinking, like, man, I should have prepared some little quips and clips from the show, Courage the Cowardly Dog. Before I did, but I've been preparing this tattoo for weeks. For weeks, I say. And here we are. I don't have any preparation for it. For fun little, because I got buttons. I got buttons for my computer. I have the ability, and just possibly not the drive, to push a button and have a little cartoon of a little Eugene or whatever that guy's name is. Eustace. Is that what it is? Yelling at the damn dog. I mean, that would be hilarious. That would be some good content. That would be that it would be that. Oh, Jason Holmes is getting self-conscious about not being a boomer. Here's the thing, Jason. Here's the thing. If you're over the age of 23, I would say these days, I'd say about 23. It was 21 when I found out about this word. It was for over 21-year-olds, but now if you're over 23 in your mind, even, I mean, if you could be an 18-year-old, and if you like Lucas, not Lucas, I'm a fucking dick. Luke, he's a boomer technically. You know, just on mindset. So every adult is weeks. Every adult is a boomer. So unfortunately, Gen X, I mean, making that distinction is what makes you a boomer. You know, thinking that there's a difference. That's a boomer quality, you know. And let me tell you, I almost make myself not a boomer by being able to recognize that. So, you know, don't be too confused when I'm getting too deep on some of this stuff, because it's not supposed to be easy to understand. I gotta manage these buttons better, but I also gotta keep my mouth shut when I make mistakes, because it's not really important. What's important is that we're having fun, and I'm just glad that we're all here having fun. I wish we were over. You know, I might just stop. Guys, I was honestly thinking, let me just tell you, before that stream was getting messed up, I was thinking I should probably just stop doing the secret streams for a minute. They don't really make sense, cuz I just need to, I mean, I could stream, I could just stream more often here, and we can just have all kinds of fun, and I don't have to be saying crazy shit all the time. And maybe we'll just do some periodic secret streams, like emergency secret streams, scratchers only. But then I was thinking, we gotta figure out a way to organize and make sure that. Anyways, I'm sharing too much now. And I'm pushing the wrong buttons again. I moved them. I switched the buttons because of which scenes I want to be the more common views. And here we are sharing too much again. This is because I'm on the courage side of the tattoo. So that's the oversharing side. I'm going to go ahead and get started on the shadow, and maybe I can talk. Maybe by tattooing in the shadow, I won't want to. Maybe my topic will be more, you know. Anyways, My body feels like it's 85 sometimes. That must be incredibly uncomfortable. I hear 85-year-olds have a really hard time doing anything. A lot of them. There's a lot of 85-year-olds like that. I mean, you could be one of those limber 85-year-olds too, you know. There's some 85-year-olds who they're sore but they still climb Mount Everest. So who knows? But I also feel I don't feel it the way other people do cuz I know cuz I'm a pretty I try really hard to like feel good. As good as I can. And I still get like my knees and my back. I enjoy your stream of consciousness style. Huh. Well, so do I. And I still get all these like weird pops and sorenesses, and I worry about you know people out there how they must be feeling. I mean, if I'm feeling this way, I can't imagine how some people with some injuries or some ailments, how they're feeling, or just age. Literally, just people who are any older than me. I'm like, man, in 5 years, I'm going to be miserable. Just purely based on where I'm at now and where I was 5 years ago, I must probably be miserable 5 years from now. Is that a weird way to put it? Like, but I guess I've actually heard Joe Rogan said he feels better now than he's ever felt in his life. And that might be the $100 million Spotify deal. It might be the. It might be the. It's probably that. So until I get that, I have a feeling I'm going to keep getting more pain. I texted my stepdad and I was like, hey, because it was icy out. This was a little bit ago. And I was like, hey, watch out for your. Be careful out in that icy snow, Pops, because you can get injured. And I never talked to this guy. I mean, I haven't, and I say this guy, but I mean he raised me, so but we don't talk that much. I don't know what it is. But that was the one text I probably sent him in like 4 months. Was like, hey, watch out for ice, because if you slip on it, you could hurt your back. Because I just felt I hurt my back a little bit on some ice, so I was like, oh man, if I was my stepdad, I would probably have gotten really badly injured in that incident. But I'm sure he took it as like, wow, you only want to talk to me about how I'm getting old. Gee, thanks. Not that it matters, but like, yeah, that is kind of something that concerns me. But yeah, isn't that a silly text? You don't have to answer. That's not always, it's kind of a rhetorical. Are you familiar with the rhetorical? Drink lots of water, Linda, but I think I'm still too young to feel like that. I have like 40 years of work left in life. Just how? Jason gets it. Jason knows all kinds of tricks because when I said magnesium, he said yes. And anybody who says yes to magnesium gets it. So, you can trust that. I think I got this angle right. Let's try it a little bit different. So I'm having a hard time pulling this skin while still keeping that angle. Hey, that's not bad though. I could just poke that a bunch. What if I just poke it a bunch and don't tighten it? Oh, it doesn't really work. I forgot. It just doesn't work. Whew. So yeah, this is going to be quite the little. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. This shadow monster. I was worried because honestly, guys, I'm going to be honest with you for a second. Here's a little bit of shadow. This is some ridiculous shadow. I will share some really silly thing that I'm scared of right now. Is you're not supposed to do like you're supposed to avoid evil images in this world. Like you don't want to tattoo a a portal to the demon realm on your back, because in a sense you would actually be summoning demons through that. on your back, you know? I mean, that's not what you want. What you want is to not summon anything through your skin. So I did worry, and I am worried. But guy, I'm literally worried. This actually does concern me. Is that by giving myself this damn tattoo, which I don't. I mean, this is just what we're doing. Am I? Am I? Is this a? Is this an evil image? Because it's a shadow monster. Let's be honest, it's a shadow monster. Shadow monsters are evil. But I didn't just get a tattoo of a shadow monster. This is a very specific type of monster. Okay? I don't even know why I said it like that. Like, okay. But look, I mean, I don't even know why I'm pushing. I just like my buttons. I was like, I did the buttons. I gotta use them. It's not just a shadow monster. It's a dog who's afraid of his shadow. So, in a sense, let's see. I was trying to do the button without looking at it, and I got the wrong button. In a sense, you see what I'm saying. So I'm thinking we're okay. You, the real cowardly dog, scared of courage's imagination. Yeah, no, exactly. That's exactly it. I'm so scared of an image of what a dog is scared of. I'm like, whoa, easy with that shadow. That is a scary shadow, Courage. Please, dog, stop imagining that. You're terrifying me. Yeah, great point. I don't think it's evil. I would consider it introspective. I would too. I do too, and that's how I justify it. But the thing is, loopholes don't work with God. That's not really how it works. So if he's telling you to do something and you think you got a loophole, he might come around the back and be like, "Hey." And that's what I worry about. I don't like when God comes around and warns you about your loopholes. It gets dangerous pretty quick. But yeah, I agree. I mean, of all the things in the world today, is this the most evil? I mean, there is some dark shit getting tattooed on people out there these days. People are really into dead, scary stuff. And I tried. I tried so hard to be. I'm just no, I'm not. I just got to deal with this bullshit ankle. I don't know if I can use it to work though. I mean, if I can make it work, maybe that would actually be better than not. I tried to get into like horror stuff and scary stuff, but it's just too scary. I mean, is that too obvious of a statement? It affects me. It really affects me. I'll be trying to get in bed and I'm like thinking about like a beast with patches of skin missing. You don't want me thinking about that. I'm gonna move this closer to me like I care about my output. I wish I got some. Anyways. Yeah, in a warehouse with parts for trucks, we pick orders all from batteries and brake drums to small things like O-rings. Oh yeah, with the heavy stuff. Right. That's not fun. But it is kinda, cause then you get to like wear it off, and then you did the day, and then you're like cool, physical, like stress accomplished. Now I can go relax and tattoo myself. Something like that. This is a bad angle too. I gotta figure out. There is a right way to do this. Oh, maybe I'll get my assistant to start holding my skin for me while I tattoo. That would be genius. This is actually a pretty good angle. Anyways, I don't think a loving God cares about your tattoos. Look, you are even speaking of God while you tattoo. I think God would like that. Yeah, so do you think, because like if God visited me right now and he was like, so what have you been up to? And, people are like, I've been growing weed. And they give him a bunch of weed to smoke. He's like, oh, I don't smoke, but thanks, I'll go. I'd be like, yeah, I got all these tattoos. Do you like my tats, God? It might work. That's my plan. That is my whole plan for when the time comes. I'm gonna be like, check it out. Look at my tats. Even though it's literally not about the tattoos, it is 100% the whole. It's more about that camera right there. It's not even this camera. This one, this one. I'm more trying to spread that one. That's the one I'm trying to get out there. And then I'll be like, God, look at my YouTube. And then hopefully he'll be like, good job. That's what I would like to think. I'd be like, YouTube, I told people that you're out there. Or no, I'll be like, God. Yeah. I'll be like, God, I told YouTube that you're out there. So that seems like something that's going to. YouTube should start pulling Christian stuff. Yes, Linda being exhausted to the point of that's too much then. That's unfortunate. Being like so fucked up after work that you're like, ah, chill time. Time to just chill. Cuz sometimes you want to not just chill. But then you're like, how can I don't even have when you want to not it's like when you want to do something, right? But it not only feels better to not do anything, but you would actually if you were to start doing something else besides like the things that you want to do, but it's a new thing you thought about wanting to do, you can like resent that new thing that you're doing because of it taking away from laying down, basically, it sounds like. And now laying down is like, oh, this is the best possible. I mean, I just got a new blanket. We tie-dyed it. It's cotton and it's old. It was my wife's old blanket. And now it's been washed so many times and in so many boiling water baths for this tie-dye thing that we did too. Then it's really nice to sleep in and under, and I have been really taking advantage of that more than I like to admit, because even just and I was taking it before we tie-dyed it. I've been sleeping in it, but now it's tie-dyed and I'm like, this is the best blanket of all time. I haven't woken up early to do anything like to do the things that I like to do before work in 1 week. And that's been a long week because I get disappointed in myself every single day. God, can you bring the meat suit I was riding in here? I want you to see the marks I put on it. Oh yeah, good point. Ew, do you think I would actually have to bring the skin, like the actual corpse, up to the gates? Or I mean, if he, see, ideally, I won't be dead when I am showing God my tats. Hopefully, when I'm dead, I'll be showing God like my family and my. Yeah, I would like to still talk about my tats afterwards. Mostly bad back days, but yes, I don't do much after work. It's basically impossible to do anything after work. Not like as an excuse, but I mean, isn't that like the dilemma of the century? Is like, well, now we got all these jobs to do, so we get all these nice things. But then we don't. But then it's just using all of our things because we don't have energy or time left to use like the I don't even know what people used to see. This is the other thing. This is the other damn thing that I've been frustrated with lately is how we shouldn't even have time to think about how we don't have time to do what we want to do. Like life has never been like there's never been a point in like human, I mean maybe, and that's probably right before civilizations start falling apart. But we've always just been like having to work all day. It was an all day thing. You know. I mean, they say hunter gatherers didn't work all day. So I get pretty jealous of that. I get a little bit jealous of like I would have been born into a tribe. That would be nice. But I don't know if they have stand-up comedy in hunter-gatherer tribes. So, thank God for civilization. How about that? And you know what? You can thank no, I was going to say it goes both ways, but no. You thank God for civilization. You don't think people start thinking, well, maybe which came first, civilization or God? I think you know. But that's not really what it was even talking about. I don't even know why I keep going back to like, well, thank God. I've been getting interested lately. I'm honestly kind of embarrassed. And don't even get me started on you don't need to be embarrassed about loving God. I know. But to be so outward about it, and I know I'm not crazy outward. I'm not trying to like preach or anything. But it is interesting. It used to be, I mean, but what the actual interesting thing is how we're like mad that we work too much now, but we are working less now than we used to. So but it feels like we're working way more. I feel like we used to work all day, but it felt like natural play and life. It's just like, this is just what I have to do. This is just what my family needs and what I need. And now it's like, what does my company need? And what do I need? And what does my landlord need? And does the grocery store have what I need? And everything's like very confusing and nothing's really connected. So you spend a lot of even just mental energy just trying to organize, like, to make sure you're constantly thinking like, there's no way I'm surviving right now. Like I there's no way the things that I'm doing with my body are causing me to have a life that works. It seems like that's how I feel sometimes. Like none of this makes sense. And even not when I'm just trying to do this, and when I was actually doing a job, I was like, really, I just go around plunging toilets for 8 hours a day, and then everything's cool, and then there's just a car, and then there's just a cell phone, and then there's just a TV, and video games come out all the time, and we're just good. It was very stressful. I have to like, now I just know, like, oh no, we're not good. So I don't have to think about that anymore. But I was spending a lot of time organizing and thinking about like, okay, yeah, no, I guess my life makes sense right now. I think it's easier to just go, no, none of this makes sense, but thank God we're here and that it's working right now. But yeah, anyways, I don't know. I think you know what I'm saying. It's cool to have faith and then share that with others. It's inspirational to me. Thanks, Jason. People aren't doing it, and if they are, I don't think anybody wants them to. You know what I heard? Okay, while we're on the topic, the main thing that I heard about like Jesus and Christianity that made me go, "Oh, that's cool," was when they said that basically they will hate you for loving me. I guess he said that to somebody, or somebody said that to him about them, or somebody basically said, if you're gonna follow this book, the world is gonna think you're a piece of shit, even though you're technically doing everything right. And when I heard that, I was like, that sounds like exactly how I like to live life. Like I want to like every time I go into like a Minecraft server, I'm like, okay, what are the rules? And then how can I like get in here and disrupt some shit while still following the rules? So if I can follow the Bible and still cause some disruption in this world, I'm thinking that's a really fun life. And that's basically where I'm coming from on all of it. It's not really, I mean, listen, faith has gotten me very far, but but you can have faith without caring about the words Jesus said. You know, you can just be like, yeah, no, everything's going to be okay. And that's technically faith. That's like spiritual but not religious. But apparently, if you're religious, it gets even better. And I'm like, oh, I want it to get better. And I'm like, no, please, God, don't think I'm just doing this to get better, to have a better life. I don't think that. But like the book says, like it says, but then it also says, you know, a lot of people get gray hair before they even get a glimpse of the fruit that their life is supposed. So I'm not trying to say, you know, hurry up with the fruit, but I'm trying to grow things that they say this broccoli can be harvested in 45 days. I don't believe it. I can't even imagine how broccoli could come out of the ground in a year, let alone a month and a half. So I put the seeds out there. We're going to see what happens. I'm just looking for a little bounty. Anyways, this tattoo is nowhere near finished, and I have to go. You know what's funny is I like to start early on the days that my daughter gets out of school early, so I can say, like, hey, I got to get out of here. I can't poke too long. But then on the days where my daughter gets out of school on a regular time, I'm like, okay, so we're going to start a little late today, and then I won't be able to, you know, poke for too long. And I was just thinking, maybe I should just start saying, I only like to poke for an hour to an hour and a half and not keep coming up with excuses. Because, boy, when I'm talking to my woman and she's given me the reasons that she has for why she wants to go do something, or not do something. I'm like, that's a whole lot of excuses when you could just tell me you want to do it. And here I am constantly saying, like, I got an excuse for why I'm not going to do this thing. Instead of just being like, hey, I don't want to do it. So there's some shadow for you. Hey, I'm sticking to the promise, even though I didn't even make any promises. I made myself one, though, which was finish this damn tattoo. And can I do it? Maybe. Maybe. I can at least get the shadow done. I like to think I can color it in today, too. I mean, it's not like it's late or anything. I just didn't know I was going to spend all day figuring this damn stream out. I'll let you guys know because of the newfound idea of, like, I'll just do what I want to do and tell you. I won't have excuses. I mean, I'll let you guys know what the new summer schedule is. Hopefully I can actually start streaming more frequently because just based on the power of God, and we'll see if that actually gets me there. I'm thinking if I pray, I might be able to have, like, if I pray for the strength to stream, you know, that's, people are like, what, you're going to pray for a new car? No. But if I pray for a million, if I pray a million times for pennies every time, for a penny, you know, that's enough for a down payment on a nice car. After 30 years of praying, you know, so there's ways to do it. You got to save. It's all about saving. Anyways, sorry, I'd rather talk than poke sometimes. If you can hear the cat outside that door right now, here it is late, 10 p.m. Okay, so right now it's 10 p.m. there. Good to know, because I don't want to. Actually, wait. No, wait. No, stop waiting. I still gotta calculate because I don't even know when. Because I don't know if I'm gonna do it before. I'm gonna probably do a mix of like early mornings here, so like 6 hours earlier than right now, or maybe even 7 hours earlier than right now. So that'd be like your afternoons, and then So yeah, what time do you? No, I'd have to care to actually start doing that. So let's not even. But yeah, I'll figure. I'll do mixed times so that there's because I gotta start doing this more often. I need more tattoos, and I need more attention. So there's only one way to get both of those things at once, and that's that's being here with you guys. So thank you. And I got a new hey, how about this, Jason? Oh, never mind. Jason's probably you are 9 hours late. You are feisty and rude, but I get it. Um, Jason, if you have a tattoo idea, I need it from you. So let me know because you're so here, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is somebody who gets me. So I need because I just get all my tattoos idea from my friends on here. That's what all this shit comes from. I don't know if you figured that out by now. So yeah, let me know, and I'll probably do it soon um, because I'm out of ideas. So whatever the next one I get is going to be the one I do. Guys, I was gonna break some. So when you stream in the afternoon, it's in the middle of the night for me. Yeah, that's gonna change. Well, okay, Linda, just tell me right off, like what. Never mind. Because I'm probably gonna do some middle of the night ones. Even that'll be fun because then that would be like the morning for you. So I don't know. I don't know what your hours are, and I don't know if it's appropriate for me to ask to try to figure out when would be just too late and when would be just early enough. But maybe we can figure that out in private, and then it won't seem like I'm simping too hard. I don't want to seem like a simp. I'm just trying to tattoo and get attention, which is a little simpy, and that's has nothing to do with our rules. Luckily, you can be a simp. You just gotta make sure you gotta check if it's gay first. Nothing wrong with that. Anyways, I just like talking. You know that though. I don't know why I say it all the time. You know how many times I say, how often I just will say, I like talking. But I'll be like, sorry, I just like talking. I say that a lot. And it's so much where it's like, that, the amount of times I say that would be enough to justify clarifying to somebody. Like, I could honestly, it would be more accurate for me to say, sorry, I like to apologize for talking too much a lot. That would honestly be a better way for me to handle. I gotta figure this shit out. What is with this angle? There we go. So yeah, but that is how it is going. I gotta figure out all kinds of things. I'm turning on myself lately. The devil's biting at my heels. You guys ever feel that way? Maybe not. I bet we have a lot of Satanism in the crowd that's just unspoken. There's some people watching right now who are dealing with some dark energy, and we're not going to find out about it. And that's okay. That's okay. We don't want to know. But you really should work on some stand-up material. What the fuck did you just say to me? You don't think I know I need to work on my stand-up material? Oh boy. Oh boy. You know what, I might start sharing that stuff with you. I went to a couple open mics this week. I'm proud of myself, and I shouldn't be. It should just be the standard that I hold myself to, is going to those frequently. Soon, I'll be proud of myself for making money doing it, and then I'll say I shouldn't even be proud of myself for that. That should just be the standard I hold myself to. But until then, I'm feeling pretty good about going out to these little dive bars where a good old friend who I thought hated me, but it turns out he just kept his mouth shut at the wrong time, is happy to see me. And he's like, get your name on that list, buddy. And then I go up on stage and I say some stupid shit and people start laughing. And then I come out here and Jason's like, hey, you got to work on that shit, man. You better do better. You're right. Listen, you are right. But yes, now that I've let the cat out of the bag that that's what I want to do, because to be honest, there was a good period of time where I was just like, I'm trying to be a tattoo artist. I'm just going to be a tattoo artist. I was trying to keep it a secret that I was trying to be a stand-up comedian. But now that everybody knows, maybe that will even help. Just by having that identity in the cloud, it might help knowing like, well, if I'm not able to go in and say to Jason and Linda and fucking, even T Dot, I don't know if you ever want to start coming back out to damn open mics with me. But you still probably got that bug up in your pants if you're listening still. You probably still thinking, I gotta get up on stage soon, and you just don't. I don't know. I remember you told me you weren't thinking stand up anymore, and then I was like that. I can't imagine how that feels because I mean you might honestly have elevated above it. In which case I told, what mics did you hit? I haven't been up since 2021. The Vancouver ones are pretty legit. Not Vancouver. You already know which ones I'm talking about. The other people might think I'm talking about Canada, but there's a place in Washington called Vancouver, and it's next to Portland, and it's just slightly chiller. And even Portland is pretty chill. It turns out that even if you make a tranny joke in Portland, you can get away with it. You just don't want. You really just. I haven't seen anybody get really like yelled at or anything. So I don't think it's. But yeah, there's one at Shanahan's on Wednesday. That was yesterday, and then there's one on Monday at another place. I forget some other place, but it wasn't the later one on Monday. Anyways, that's inside baseball. But yeah, T Dot, I would love to see you if we want to talk about it and go to the same ones because I avoid a lot of them. If I knew there was going to be somebody cool there, I was trying to get Robert Gresham. You know Robert Gresham. I was trying to get him to get me to, but I told him, you tell me when you're going to Mike's because I want to go to the ones you're at, and he said, okay, I've been struggling. This is all super dorky. And then I see him at the open mic, and he's like, oh, hey, I was going to message you about how I was going to be. And it's just like, okay, that's why I have a hard time trusting people around here. And that's fine. I guess I just got to do it by myself. But like, man, that's okay. All right, I'll just do it by myself then. That's cool. But yeah, thanks. I'm not going to forget your name. I know it's Jason. I'm not reading it every time I look to make sure. I never think it's Jared. Don't worry. Thanks, Jason. I appreciate yes, you're absolutely right, and now I feel seen. I feel more seen now than I have in a long time. And then this thing I keep poking off screen, he doesn't feel seen. He's like, I haven't felt seen this entire episode. This tattoo that's what this tattoo is saying, in case you couldn't follow. But yeah. Let's see. What are some other good shadow aspects? Here's one. This is a weird one. Because I don't, this isn't me. But this is a little weird. Never mind. We won't get into that. It's too weird. You guys are going to be like, this guy's a freak. Even though you won't really, because I'm good at explaining myself. If you really wanted to hear the weird shadow thing I was just thinking about. But it's a contradiction. And it's a twist. And it's not one I partake in. But it's one I've heard. And I wonder about it sometimes. I still miss it, but real life is weighing an ability to make everyone feel good on command. Yes, I know Robert. Yeah, we all know Robert. But yeah, I hear you. It's basically it feels like lately, if you're not already there, if you already don't have the mindset of how to like put in some time and attention to put yourself in a place where you can be there better for the people around you. I'm feeling like right where I'm at right now, on that level of being able to like focus in, I might be just stuck here forever. And that is not a good feeling. But if the world doesn't end, if we're not, I'm not done poking this thing yet. If we're not living through a spiritual apocalypse right now, And if this is just more of the world and more of the reality that we're dealing with, and it's all in our, and it's all just based on what we decide to think, and I can get this spoon in the image so that I can poke while I talk. If it's not the end of the world spiritually, and if we can continue to keep growing and doing more of the thing, because if you're missing something, T dot, you know what that does to you deep down inside. I know what it does to me. Guess what? I don't feel dizzy today. Is it because I performed stand up twice this week? Does doing stand up comedy contribute to dizziness? If I asked a doctor, they would say no. If I asked a psychiatrist, they would say no. If I asked an astrologist or a palm reader, they would say no. But if I asked my wife, she would say, yeah, I think that was probably just, you're probably just messed up from not pursuing your dreams. It gets you in weird ways. It really will. Oh, let's hear the weirdness deal. Since it was supposed to be a secret stream, and since we're still poking a shadow, we will. Here's a little shadow for you. When dads try to, for instance, me, when you try to talk about like what kids should or shouldn't wear, like my girl, I've got a little girl daughter. I've got a daughter girl, a small one. And when you start to say things that they should or shouldn't wear, there's this sort of thing going around with the ladies about like, hey, we're not wearing it for you. We're women and we wear slutty clothes to feel good about ourselves. It actually has nothing to do with the extra attention that we get from boys about our clothes. So, okay, whatever the reason is, there's this weird aspect when a dad comes in, he's like, hey, you can't dress like a slut. It's really bad for you, and it's going to end up like basically ruining your life. Just based on the mindset you put yourself in and how people will treat you for the rest of your time on this planet if you do that, and how you're not going to get respect from the people you really need it from most. I mean, not that you shouldn't get respect for not wearing clothes that do, but there's just a reality to the way that because there's some animalistic people out there, and then they're going to make you feel bad, and then you're not even going to know it, and then you're going to wake up one day, and so a dad's like, hey, maybe it's just this one little tweak to your outfit would make you feel better, and you don't even know it. And then all the women out there are like, hey, let her dress like a slut. You're putting your sexuality on them. That's from you. If you think a daughter should cover up, you are gross. Isn't that weird? Isn't that a very... It's hard. It's weird to even bring up, because then I have to like try to argue for like, I'm not trying... How do you... If I just extrapolate from an adult woman's body and how she dresses and how that affects me and my friends and every man I've ever met, how they're affected, and what the science books say men are affected by that type of stuff, right? So if I say that, and that it's because I don't want people looking at my daughter that way, then there's room for a response these days. For some reason, I don't know how it got there. For the response of like, what are you're like looking at your daughter? Like, oh, do you see your daughter in that way? And that's why you're feeling embarrassed? Like, there's an accusation sometimes of a shadow, of a projection that is it's like, because it's like I am in a way projecting, because as a man I know what other men would see, right? But then that's sort of the point, is that by noticing the shadow, I don't even know how this completely comes around. I'm not sure. about dizzy, but I bet that's why you feel close to God, lol. Now that's a great point. Now that is a really good point. And to you too, I'm sure. But I think you know what I mean. Like there's a very confusing aspect of like, okay, so we know what the shadow is, and then we know what actual evil is, because there is actual evil in the world. It's other people's it's other people identifying with their shadow. So I've got my shadow, which is just like, oh, slutty dressed women's catch attention. That's a dark aspect. I keep that shit at bay. I don't even look at anybody. I just keep my eyes closed everywhere I go. But there are some people out there who when they get the urge to look at people who are dressed slutty, they're like, yeah, that's me. Oh, I like that. And then they like indulge in it and they stare and then they want to talk to you and they want to touch you. And just because I'm trying to, so it's like, anyways, isn't that strange? It's something that's been for some reason, I've never even considered it before. And then this last year, now my daughter's going to school and stuff, and she put on some short shorts, and I was like, what the fuck is happening here? So I put a quick end to that. But anyways, that is hey, there's if somebody pointed out something that I said that was inappropriate, I would go ahead and say, I would say why they're wrong. But as far as I've said, so I think that pretty much covers that whole aspect. Did I wipe this and then lube it up again? Or did I not wipe at all? I'm gonna wipe and then lube again because we got off on that whole rant. That was a good one. Not really a good one. It wasn't really a good rant, but it was something I wanted to talk about because it's been bugging me. People get weird. And people are getting weirder and weirder with dads. And I don't have proof of it yet. But I feel it. I do everywhere I go. I'm like, what the fuck is everybody looking at me for? And maybe it's just because I'm hot. It might just be that. But I think there's something sinister happening in this world. Okay, that's right. I didn't wipe it. Thank God. I didn't try to just go tattoo that again. And then there's the whole aspect of like, also people dress to fit in. No, yeah, exactly. And that's the thing that frustrates me is that the TV, which is controlled by millionaire pedophiles, and the doll industry, which is controlled by billionaire pedophiles, and the fashion industry, which is controlled by billionaire pedophiles, are making the decisions on what is cool, and they have been for decades. About a century now, pedophiles have been slowly changing the opinion of culture to say, actually, we should be dressing as minimally as possible. And here's my problem, and the thing that frustrates me is it's never that's completely. I was going to say about like the functionality, like people want girls to just wear short clothes and they act like it's more comfortable, but no, nobody's even making that argument. It is just about fitting in. But why do you have to dress like a slut to fit in? That's fucked up. And I would really hope that I can do some work in this lifetime to have some pushback on that, at least in my own life, if not the world. So let's work on it, guys. Let's start putting people back in damn burlap sacks. Guys, it is literally the person who picked rompers. You guarantee it. You see rompers everywhere, and these pantsuits that are a whole body suit, and these outfits where it's like a dress, except for we sewed the middle shut to make it like pants on the bottom, right? That the person who decided that that's an outfit, that that's a type of clothes you can wear, was a creep. And he might have not been somebody who acted on it, but that people who are designing clothes or people who pick a design, maybe not the guy who designed it, but the guy who picked it and he's sold it to Target and Walmart, and now that's everywhere, is just a piece of clothes, where it just so happens where you have to assist, if anybody is assisting a child in the bathroom and then they're wearing a romper, that kid's got to go potty, they have to take the whole thing off. And it's like, we're just doing that now. We're just the person. I'm not creepy for noticing that that's something that happens. It's creepy that there are billions of fucking parents in the world today who have allowed that to happen, who have gone to the store so many times over the last 45 years and told the J.C. Penney executives, can you get it sluttier? Can you make my teenage girl a little bit more like a whore? Because you're not doing it fast enough. Anyways, too far. One Piece. Too much. My daughter doesn't even shave her legs. Too much information already. She came to the conclusion that shaving is ridiculous. I agree with her 100%. That's not a bad conclusion. But she still has to wear deodorant. Because because she's a girl doesn't mean she doesn't stink. Sorry, I'm projecting again. I'm a very stinky person. I don't shave my armpits, and I don't wear deodorant. It's a major problem. I use all my deodorants for my tattoo stencils. It's very embarrassing. But yeah, anyways, that was fun. You hit the mic and your audio got better. Damn it. That's nice. I'm glad that's how it happens sometimes. So this is supposed to be purple and white. This courage. I got off on a real rant there. I'm passionate about little girls' clothes, apparently. So don't clip that part. Clip the part I was talking about the bad guys. I'm not the bad guy for Karen. That's how they get you. When you start pointing out, when you start like addressing the evil, you know how they get you? Is they turn it around and go, man, you are really evil for noticing that. If that's what you saw, when that's not what we think happened, then you must be fucked up. And then they turn it around on you, and then they make you feel bad for even like having an opinion on the matter. When this is like clearly a matter we should all be caring about opinion-wise. Oh, but also, I don't know if this had anything... Dude, I literally, when I was a kid, if you saw a girl in a bikini, like your age, I mean, an adult, you're like, well, that's fun. But if you saw like a girl your age in a bikini when I was like a little kid, it was all like, what the fuck, scandal, her parents aren't there for her. And then now, if you see a girl, like a young girl wearing a one-piece bathing suit, it's like, whoa, where did you get that? I gotta go raid that store and stock up on those one-piece swimsuits because I don't think they make them anymore. I think they literally stopped making one-piece swimsuits that cover... Remember, swimsuits used to be the whole body. Your skin shouldn't touch the water. It's dangerous out there. Now they keep making them smaller and smaller, and I'm telling you, it's not for functionality. The bikini is not for functionality. Nobody thinks it is. And it's not just for fashion and fitting in. Nobody thinks that you have to wear a bikini to fit in, except for little children who get told that by YouTube. Anyways. And you think YouTubers aren't perverts? Look at me! Anyways. This is tricky territory we're working with, but I gotta keep going. We're gonna get to some more of this outline of this dog. Linda doesn't shave either. I have to support shaving, not like in the way that is actually being talked about right now. I don't really care about. But I plan to sell razors someday. I plan to have a business. Part of my business model is razors. So even though I'm not doing denim diapers, this is getting weird. Even though I'm not doing shaving on my face, I do need to make a profit when I start getting the SKU for them. So Okay, I really did say I was going to clean up this dog today, so it has to look good when I finish. It has to look like I at least did it different, that I did more to it. That's nice. It is a cool tat though. I'm telling you guys, I'm proud of this tattoo. I didn't think I was gonna be, but I am, and that's a whole separate feeling from what I'm going for with this project. I was just going for a tattoo, and now I feel good about myself. What is happening? How does that happen? How do I make sure to get these eyes to look nice and eyeball-y? Because most of his face is just these eyes. So as long as those are there, people sort of get it. I think the eyes and the ears are the part where people really know who this is supposed to be. And I think I poked that too much already, so I better slow down on some of these spots. Oh shit. Wow. You know what I've been doing just now? Oh, it did look good until I just did that. I was just using a big old fat needle. Look how big this needle is. I was using the wrong needle. Um, you might be able to, yeah, you can tell the difference. This is the one I was supposed to use. This was supposed to be being used. This is the one I was using. This is a shading needle. This is a tiny line needle. I was trying to make tiny lines, but I was doing shading. So I'm going to have some really incorrect dots now on the freaking eyeball where I needed it to look good. And there is a fly, or no, it's a fuzzy. I thought I had a fly in my workstation. I was about to freak out. But right now I'm freaking out about this courage eyeball because I think I got too emotional and it's been, we've been going for a second. Don't forget we have that whole party on the other website. Excuse me. I don't think I can keep going. I feel so bad about what I've done about his eyeball. It doesn't look like it's supposed to. I'm going to be honest. This is really unfortunate. We're going to give him some extra love right now. Let's wipe this needle off. If you wipe a needle off on a soapy, on something, soap and water, is that enough? I think it is. I think it is. If it isn't, I'm going to find out soon. Thanks about the rose. That one hurt. I spent a whole, 4 hours watching a movie with my lady. I forget what movie. I'm supposed to remember these things. Doing that rose. And thank you. I'll have to touch it up one of these days, but it's a bad angle. It's a really bad angle. And we have did Jason give me a flippin' frickin' tattoo idea yet? Don't forget that I need a new idea. Everybody else I'm talking to right now in here, just one good mix of purple to it. Fair. That would be nice. If I know what you're saying. I think I do know what you're saying. What, you want me to color in the dog? Let me just try to. Are you talking about the rose, or you want me to put some purple in the dog so it looks proper? Because we could do that. I'm gonna do a little bit more outline, and then to make it clean, the way I promised, and then I'm gonna do a little purple for the dog. If I have it right, that's what you were saying. I think it is. Get that little finger cleaned up and finished. Just a couple spots I don't want to leave to the imagination with all the spaces between the dots. I'd like it to be clear what's supposed to be happening. And then we'll connect up his head to his eyeball. So it's all continuous. I will have to think on the tattoo thing. Fair. Cool. I like that you're going to think about it, because I would hate for the first thing you tell me to be a stupid idea, and for me to have to tell you no, you know? I have had to do that. I've had to do that with a few people, and I've had to make some big compromises. For instance, this Mandalorian helmet, somebody wanted me to get a Trojan helmet. I couldn't do it. It was too gay. And I'm a pretty gay guy. But Trojan helmet was a gladiator helmet, for some reason just felt very homo to me. But a green and yellow Mandalorian helmet, which isn't the right color scheme, as I found out after I poked it, for the classic helmet, but it basically is a gladiator Trojan type helmet. So that's a compromise that I'm willing to make. And if your tattoo idea is bad, but you won't choose another idea, maybe I'll make it's like a genie style, like you make a wish and then who knows how it's going to come out. So that's how most of the tattoos, but that's why you pick something simple, like this watermelon. When Linda said a watermelon slice, she knew exactly what she was going to get. Same with a pineapple. I don't know why Linda likes fruit so much, but you know exactly what you're going to get, and maybe that's what it is. Because fruit. It's kind of like McDonald's. No matter what country you're in, you get a pineapple, it tastes like a pineapple. That's what I like about fruit and vegetables and food. Okay. That was maybe a little heady. I understand. This whole situation is a little strange, so not everything is always going to get through. But you know what did get through? Is that I tried harder on this Courage the Cowardly Dog. That comes through. You can tell right now. You can tell looking at this project, that guy tried. And I know you can. Actually, I don't. So please tell me if it looks like what I'm telling you. If that lines up. If it does, does that look like I tried? Because I really did. I really tried to make it look like Courage the Cowardly Dog. The burning paper plane. Oh. This guy? This guy right here? Yeah, that's one of my favorites too. That was one of the first recommendations I ever got. If I'm not missing another burning paper plane, yeah, that is like technically I think that one I got recommended when I was still doing like, give me a number to put in my dice, way down there. So it's one of my favorites as well. Unless I'm missing a paper plane tattoo somewhere that I don't know about. And then I would be really creeped out. If Linda was like, it's on the back of your left knee, and I checked and there was another like paper plane on fire back there, and I'd be like, oh my God, what is happening? I forgot my tattoos. Alright, we're going to put some purple on this now. I'm going to do a little purple. And I'm going to get the fuck out of here because I'm about to be late. I was almost late to picking up my daughter at school yesterday. And man, if that isn't a deep panic that I never want to experience again. I was blaming my lady. I was like, this is your fault. It's your fault we're late. When it's like she didn't even know that it was an early release day. And I was supposed to tell her. And I didn't, and that's why it all happened. So there's some shadow for you right there. I was going to pick up. I was late to pick up, and I was blaming my lady when it was my fault. And I was expressing a lot of deep anger. Momentarily, but deep anger about that situation towards her, and it was all my fault. That's straight up shadow. When you're like, anyways, you get it. I know you. That's pretty straightforward shit right there. That happens. I hope that happens to everybody. Don't tell me if it does, because I need to think that I'm the problem more so I can get better. But I think it's pretty common to do shit like that. To just be blaming people when you're doing the weird shit. Okay. Now I can relax. You know the other thing I'm going to do, but I'm not going to do it today. But one of these days we're going to go back on these teeth. On these little cowardly dog teeth, and we're going to make those pale yellow. Because I like how he has kind of yellow teeth. And then we'll make his eyeballs white. Because then you can tell how yellow the teeth are. You know? It's only fair. And yes, that would be creepy. That's why I'm glad I only have one. Thanks for saying that, Linda, about my paper plane. That's so sweet. That's one of my favorites. It's like very stick and poke. Because then I filled it in with just like some blurry red and yellow, but it still looks fire. Literally. Fire! Looks fire! Looks fire, Papa! Okay. Well, sometimes you take it too far. And as long as you pull it back immediately, you will... What? I don't know. I don't know why I think I should pull back when I'm going hard. I should just start going hard more. Like this damn angle. My friends, I have to run. It has been a pleasure. I'll catch you at the post. See you at the post, Scratcher. We'll find a reason. I got to start making better reasons to go to that website, scratcherspost.com. Maybe a daily puzzle, something like that, or a submissions council. I don't know, but I got to make it something important, so it's worth the $50 I paid to have that domain name. That's actually not how much domain names cost. I just wanted to. It was just an expression. $50 is an expression, I guess. Also, maybe someday, with inflation, domain names will cost $50. And then I can say, well, I wasn't lying. I was just ahead of my time. This is just some real low-level purple that we're putting in here. And that's okay. I only need a little bit to prove that, again, I tried. And also, color is a big part of people's of like noticing stuff. If you put Shaggy from Scooby-Doo in an orange shirt, people would right off the bat go, hey, that's there's something going on there. And you don't want them thinking that if you didn't do a good job drawing Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. Because then they're going to be like, wait, that doesn't even look like Shaggy. But if you put him in a green shirt and it looks a little bit like Shaggy, people will give you a little break. And that's what I'm going for with this purple. I'm like, you know what? It's a purple dog. It's scared of a shadow. Even if I drew it wrong, you know what the theme is, right? And you do. And I know you do. Because you're still here. But you can't even tell it's purple. That's right. This purple is basically my skin tone. Is what we're working with. I'm going to do it again. That's okay. I don't know why I'm getting bummed. I knew it was going to be light. Because that's something you always got to do multiple passes. Have you decided what to do with the light bulb yet? I was just looking at that this morning when I was scrolling through my list of ideas and updating it. I was looking at the bottom. I got light bulb. There's a couple things. I don't even know why I started the sentence with that. There's not a couple things of anything. There's only one thing to do with that light bulb, and it's to make it glow. What did I think about? Probably just going to leave it, to be honest. But on a touch-up day, if I put a title out there that says it's touch-up day, and you say something about the light bulb, I'll pull some ink out of whatever color and I'll poke that light bulb. However, don't you have a light bulb that you have a certain way, or was that your power button that you have like glowing, or do you just say things that I'm supposed to assume are true sometimes when they're not even close? Because I know you said one of those things. Just saying. This thing's going to be purple when it's done. At least a little purple. At least in his body and face. Is that a good? That's an okay. That's okay. Whew. All right. Okay, here we go. That seems a little bit better. Okay, I'm not even going to stretch my skin right now. It's too much work. And since I'm just filling in, I really could care less if it's in exactly the right spot. I just need to get some damn ink in this skin. So I'm just tapping it. I'm just tapping away, and it's not going to be as the ink isn't going to go in as good as if I was stretching the skin first, but it's going to go in a little. And since I can do it faster in this mode than if I was doing other shit, I'll make up for it by just poking more. You know, that's okay. You don't always have to follow all the rules if you know why they're there. If you know what the rule is for and you avoid that, and the rule is only written the way it is so that stupid people can avoid complicated situations, then something happens like you need to do a tattoo without stretching skin, and you're like, I can't do that. You can sometimes. There are situations where you can tattoo without stretching your skin. And that rule sort of applies to life as well, in a lot of different ways. Let's see how this turns out. I don't know how many more times I can poke purple randomly into this dog in one session before I start getting frustrated about my lack of topics ideas. Because he's definitely still not purple yet. I'm going to do one more. I'm going to do one more, but then I got to get out of here. Because an hour and a half is too long to be talking about any number of subjects without keeping track of it before to make sure. Damn it! I dropped my lube on the floor before to try to keep it clean. You know, not that it needs to be clean, but just like trying. The power button, I never got that one to work. Oh, it's hard, and I appreciate you telling me that. And this button better fucking work. I appreciate you telling me that because I have some theories about stick and pokes that I gotta try. There's only one way to find out, and it's to try it, because tattoo artists keep their shit secret about how to do cool effects in a tattoo. But yours isn't. A certain glow effect with a power button symbol isn't working, and I have so many things I want to do too, and they're all worthy, and it's just a matter of time. It's just like, how much time do I have to do this? But the thing is, if we do it, we have our whole lives. So that's the thing with, when you want to get a tattoo, you have to go get it, and someone else has to give it to you, and now you have that tattoo, and you get it pretty big because it's like nice and you want it to look good. But when you give yourself a bunch of little tattoos, you can spend your whole life doing it. But then the problem is you get new ideas as you go through life, and then you run out of time for the old ideas. So we gotta hustle. We got a lot of work to do, because if you don't do the stuff you want to do right now, then when you want to do it later, you're going to have a new idea that you're going to want to do now, and then you're going to have to put that idea off to do this one, but you're not going to be in the mood for the first idea anymore. So then you're going to be putting it off to do nothing down the road, and then literally nothing will get done. That's how it goes. So it's more important than you think to keep doing it as much as you can, whatever it is. For me, apparently, it's giving myself stick and pokes. It's pretty retarded. It's a pretty stupid thing to pay attention to. We can be honest about it. I don't think this is a good investment in anybody's time to specifically be doing poking. That's not what this show is about. If you're watching this right now and you're like, but I don't scratch, I don't give myself stick and pokes, so I guess I don't care. No. Listen, I talk nonsense, but it makes good sense. And stick and pokes apply to all life. So whatever if you haven't figured that out yet while you're listening to this show, that that there's an aspect of your life where you get 10 pokes per dip, you know? And if you try to poke too many times, if you try to use a needle too many times without dipping it in the ink in between some of those pokes, you're just hurting yourself and not making any progress. If you can't see how that applies to your life, turn this off right now. Turn it off. You don't belong here. Now, if you stayed because you don't just listen to some guy on the screen, then please stick around. Thank you. I actually could use more people like you who are like, fuck the man. You know? And if you think I'm the man because I'm telling you to get off my stream, well, then I don't know who I'm associating with, because that's pretty lame. If this is just fun, I'm not talking about my friends. You know, the people who take my instructions seriously. I don't know if I should really be associating with those people. Except for the instructions to go to scratcherspost.com. Make sure to log in. Stick and Poke King podcast, new episodes every week if I feel like it. And we talk about all this same stuff, but we go a little bit more into the symbolic aspects instead of just the rant. Which I don't even know if I actually do that, but that's the goal. I just have some goals. Stick and Poke King on. It's all over. It's on Spotify though. But also scratcherspost.com is where you want to go. If you're here right now and you didn't go to scratcherspost.com today to get to the secret live stream that I failed, do that soon for some reason. I'll give you a reason to, but that's the one instruction I would expect people to follow, is to go. I have a hard one that I've made a stencil for already. Just got to figure out the placement. What is it? What's the difficult tattoo you're about to give yourself one of these days when you figure out the place and are able to do it? Because, you know, I specifically pick easy ones. Like this one, for instance. That's pretty easy. I like that. I like a good easy. I don't like layers. I don't want to do layers in my tattoos. I don't want to do palettes. I don't want to have to do a palette for my tattoo. And I don't want to do too many sessions. So these all work for me. But yeah, I wonder what you got going on then. If it's going to be difficult, if it's a hard one. I wonder what that could be. Oh, yeah. That hurts, guys. This all hurts. But that's the point, right? It's like, I'm a bad boy. I'm a bad boy, and I want tattoos. I don't even care if they hurt. I don't care if a tattoo hurts. I'm a bad boy. I like it, and I want it. So I'm gonna get it right now. And you like that. You like that I like it. You like when people like things, don't you? Because if people didn't like things, you wouldn't like things. Because you're a bad girl, aren't you? Ooh! Bad boys, bad boys! Too far. See, you take it too far sometimes, and that's okay. We pull it back, and we bring attention to that, how that might have been more than was necessary. And then everybody can go, why does he keep stopping? Why does he keep doing this? Or they go, yeah, thank God he called that out. Either way, I'm wasting time. And that's what this show's all about. Have I told you that part? That's what this whole experience is really about. What I'm really doing here right now is wasting some time. And the other thing I'm doing right here, right now, is getting the fuck out of here. Because I finished poking that thing. I'm not going to show you what it looks like, but I'll get some pictures going. The finished product, if you will. But I'm going to sign off, if that's the proper term. If you ever watch Star Trek, I think they sign off in that show. And that's what I'd like to do now. So, if we can come around on that and make a way for that to... Linda, did you check the wiring? What the fuck? What the fuck does that mean? The wiring. Wiring. Did you check the wiring? I think that's a prank, Linda. I'll post it right now. Oh, you're gonna. I think she's talking to me. You guys, if you guys are doing secret talk, I don't know, but yeah, I post some tattoo ideas over on Scratcher's post, and then I'm gonna see you guys later, because guess what? What? I hope I find out before I turn this thing off so I can have another witty quip. But look, oh, I didn't want to show you. It didn't actually turn. The pink didn't come through again. I need a better purple. Anyways, all right. Thanks, guys. I'll be back around. I'm going to try not to make any promises on when I'll be back around, because it's hard to say. Summer breaks are coming. Prom's just around the corner, you know. Big surprises up ahead. No? Question mark? Everybody's confused now. I knew it. I knew I wasn't the only confused one. Once I get a dang secret stream going, I'd love to release some news about the future of the Scratchers just in general, but I don't like that voice. Yeah, it's a bad voice. I understand. But I really like using it to make people uncomfortable. That's a good time. And that, honestly, I might be talking about a different... What? Everybody's confused. This is a good time to turn it off. That was fun. See you next time, whenever that is. And I won't even... I'm going to try to keep talking.